now for a bit of hilarity coming out of our own country and our bumbling TSA. A liberal blogger was detained by the TSA after he had opted out of a body scanner. And the official word for why they were detaining him, the TSA agent said, "We saw Bitcoin in your bag and we need to check it." Well, anyone who is living under a rock, Bitcoin is a virtual currency. It does not exist in physical form. So this man, Barker, he is a co-founder of Bitcoin Not Bombs, and he says that it must have been either clothing or promotional lapel pins for his Bitcoin Not Bombs in his bag that prompted the curiosity from the TSA screeners. Barker says, obviously the TSA has been trained, although poorly, to look for Bitcoin. When they saw all the metal lapel pins in my bag, they probably thought they hit the jackpot on a stockpile of coins. Whatever training they had, it probably included that stock photo of brass tokens that everyone uses. My evasiveness only quickened their bloodlust as they imagined a big bust and possibly a free pizza and soda in the break room. So apparently, in addition to catching terrorists, the TSA is also trying to stop virtual money laundering there in the airport. But in true Dick Johnston wonderkind fashion, another TSA moment. A woman reported that a TSA agent in Phoenix didn't think her Washington, D.C. issued driver's license was valid for flight. According to the woman, an agent with the TSA took a look at her D.C. license and began to shake her head and said, "I don't know if we can accept these. Do you have a U.S. passport?" The issue here is that the district is not a state. The TSA requires a state-issued ID in order to fly. Everyone, the entire population of D.C. has to use their DC driver's licenses to fly. So that's incredible. Now, while I do think that this is hilarious because it means that all of our DC-based politicians are going to be put on the no-fly list, these are the brainiacs that are being trained to harass you while you travel. So that's amazing. Can't wait for my next trip out of the country. Now, in California, a federal court has denied the First Amendment, saying a school has the right to suppress the First Amendment in the name of safety. During the Mexican Cinco de Mayo holiday, students wearing American flag T-shirts were asked to turn them inside out. They took that case to court, and the court said that fears of racial violence by students outraged over the American flag displayed on these T-shirts outweighed the right guaranteed by the Constitution. One of the judges there said, "Our role is not to second-guess the decision to have a Cinco de Mayo celebration and whether that would be offensive, or the precautions put in place to avoid violence. The racial issues unrelated to the Bill of Rights made it reasonable for school officials to proceed as though the threat of a potentially violent disturbance was real." So just the threat of violence, potential violence, means that your First Amendment right will be squashed there. Now, one of the attorneys representing the students says they're going to appeal, and his argument was that the Ninth Circuit upheld the right of these Mexican students celebrating a holiday of another country over U.S. students who are proudly supporting this country. So what do you all think about that ruling? Do you think that that was right? Do you think they should never have had a Cinco de Mayo party in the first place? Do you think these kids should have been allowed to wear their American flag T-shirt? Do you think that the court needed to get involved and the school is right to say that safety trumps the Bill of Rights? If you have an opinion on that, and I'm sure you do, please leave your comments below this video on YouTube and let's get a discussion going.
The globalists have controlled the mainstream media for a long time, but now they're expanding, making the weaponization even more vicious and deceptive. All the major networks are state-run.
We are partnering this year with the NFL.
The NFL has become a political weapon against the Second Amendment and pushes Obamacare. MSNBC tells us that our children belong to the state.
We have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.
The brainwashing media machine has been turned up up on high, and it's time for humanity to double down on the true people's media and strike back against the tyrants that are destroying our civilization with their lies and fraud. We are the resistance. You are the resistance. You are the info war. It is more important than ever to realize that we are not the alternative media. We are the true media. The establishment dinosaur press is dying.
We are in an information war, and we are losing that war.
Join us at InfoWarsNews.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Members can share their memberships with up to 11 people. By subscribing, you will literally be buying war bonds in the info war to expand our operation in the face of the tyrants. Join us at PrisonPlanet.tv.